Good afternoon, Senior Roses. Mr. Canales here, coming at you from my music studio out on the west side of town. The topic of this week's video will be the personal statement. A lot of you watched last week's video and you went through a lot of those links, and a lot of you had questions about essays. Mr. Canales, how many essays am I going to have to write to get into college? That's a great question. It depends on how many colleges you are applying to. It depends on if they have an application through Apply Texas or a common application and they are using the common essay prompts. But having a simple personal statement is a great stepping stone for all of those essays that you might have to write for other colleges or for scholarship applications. A personal statement doesn't usually need to be longer than 2 pages. It does not need to rehash everything that can be seen on your transcript or your resume, because when you apply to a college or a university or a scholarship, in many cases the person making the decision will have their transcript. They will have your resume in front of them, so they can see all the classes that you've taken. They can see that they were pre-AP and AP, and they can see the grades that you received. On your resume, they can see that you were a treasurer of this and you were a member of that. So you don't need to necessarily, in those essays, specifically say, I was part of this and I took that. What you do want to do is you want to include a number of anecdotes. Anecdotes being your opportunity to tell your experiences and what you learned from them. So yes, you can say in your essay, I was enrolled in 18,000 pre-AP and AP classes. What you specifically want to talk about is what you learned from being involved in those. You take one class that you took. You know, I was enrolled in underwater basket weaving, and when I took underwater basket weaving, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I had a specific attention to detail that I didn't know I had before. I also learned that I could multitask really well. While underwater basket weaving, I had to pay attention to my breathing apparatus so that I knew that I had enough oxygen to make it through the next task. I realize that that's kind of an out there explanation or example, but it's the kind of thing that you would want to relay in a personal statement. Additionally, if you were the treasurer of the selfie club, you wouldn't want to just say, I was the treasurer of the selfie club. You would want to say, while I was treasurer of the selfie club, I realized the importance that money plays in running an organization. Not only did I realize that money played an important part, but so does my attention to detail when it comes to being the type of leader that can balance a lot of different activities at the same time. Not only did it take a lot of time to devote to being a leader in that organization, I had to also balance my other academic endeavors, and I had to balance my social life as well. You want to take the opportunity to pick a few of the experiences that you've had, elaborate on them, and really show the reader who you are as a person, as a leader, and as the potential recipient of their scholarship or the potential recipient of an admissions offer. Don't be afraid to point out your weaknesses. They realize that you are not perfect. Now, you don't have to frame it as a weakness. In fact, you would want to probably frame it as a challenge, something that you are working towards getting better at. And whether or not you are successful or not, the reader will get the impression that you have a good sense of who you are and what you are capable of. So in closing, one of the most important things an admissions officer or a scholarship committee reader wants to see is that you are on the path to success. You don't have to be a success already, and they realize that you're a high school student and that you are currently under construction. You are currently making yourself a better person, a better student. Lastly, it might sound trite, but when you're writing this personal statement, just be yourself. 90% of college admissions officers and scholarship readers totally know that what they are reading on paper has been edited multiple times to sound as perfect as possible. We can see through that and we understand that, and what we are hoping to get from those essays is we are hoping to get the honest truth on who you are and who you want to become. If you can write honestly, it will be noticed. So that's all I have for today. Spend some time on your personal statement, send it to me. I'm happy to read it. I'm happy to help you with those initial edits. as we work towards the beginning of your senior year and all of those applications that you will be sending out to all those colleges that interest you. And have a great week. Stay dry. As you know or may not know, we have a lot of rain coming. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, ladies.